How's it going, fellow Detroit Red Wings fans? Today we are going to talk about who I think the Red Wings should draft come this year's NHL 2019 draft. The only thing is we have to talk about one more player, Cole Caufield. This is the last player. I'm just going to give a little bit of a speech about him and then we'll go into the rest of the video. Cole Caufield stands at 5'7", 163 pounds. He played 64 games for the U.S. developmental program last season, scoring 72 goals, 28 assists, and 100 points. At U18s, he scored 14 goals, added 8 assists for a total of 18 points in 76 games. As you can see, his stats are very lopsided, somewhat like previous prospect report Trevor Zegras. Zegras had a lot of passing. Cole Caufield is definitely a lot higher goal scorer. When you look at his games played compared to his goals, 72 goals in 64 games last season, it's definitely well over a goal a game. Cole Caufield is a very small player. Obviously, he stands at 5'7". He's smaller than Alex DeBrincat for the Chicago Blackhawks. But in a lot of ways, he's a lot like him. Cole Caufield is definitely a shoot-first player, and he scores a lot of goals. Last season, for the U.S. developmental program, he scored 72 goals in 64 games, as I said earlier, which is a lot when you could think about it. Passing, you can get secondary and primary assist. Goals, you're the one that's putting the puck in the net. Even at U18s, when he was playing his fellow peers, he had 14 goals in 7 games, which is 2 goals a game. That's still not easy to achieve. Only thing is he's 5'7", so any team that drafts him is going to be taking a risk on whether he can develop into the NHL and be able to play with those players that are a lot taller than him, at least averaging around 5 to 8 inches taller than him and having a lot more weight. But as you can see, Alex DeBrincat did well in Chicago last year. He had 41 goals in 82 games played. You could very well see Cole Caufield having that same stat. The only thing is you have to take the risk on his size. He'll definitely be a lot easier to injure, and I could see a lot of players going after Cole Caufield and Alex DeBrincat come, NHL playoffs, where every team is looking for the best advantage. I do think he'll be a great goal scorer in NHL. Any team is still going to have to take a risk on him. It's kind of similar to Philip Broberg. I do think he'll end up being a good defenseman, but you're going to have to take a risk on him no matter what. I don't think the risk is actually as bad as it looks, but you never know. In my opinion, I don't think the Red Wings should draft Cole Caufield. Cole Caufield, he's a good player, but we do got a lot of goal scorers. We got Filip Zadina, Michael Rasmussen, who is he is a goal scorer. He's definitely got a better playmaking ability than Cole Caufield. But either way, I do think Michael Rasmussen, Filip Zadina, not to mention we got more players coming up with Jonathan Berggren. We got Andreas Anthony and Anthony Mantha in Detroit right now. I don't think we need another goal scoring forward. Basically, we have 7 players in this draft target series. We had Dylan Cozens, Trevor Zegras, Bowen Byram, Philip Broberg, Alex Turcotte, Kirby Dach, and Cole Caufield. We know Jack Hughes is going to go most likely first overall, and then right after that, Kaapo Kakko. Really, it's either going to be one of these two going first and second overall. I don't see any other player that has separated themselves in terms of being NHL ready, having a high NHL potential. So that's already taken off the board. We don't have to worry about them. We're just going to have to pick from the other players. So next would be Chicago Blackhawks. I do think the Chicago Blackhawks are probably going to go for Alex Turcotte. Alex Turcotte is looking like a really good forward, a solid forward that can go both ways, defensive and offensive. So Alex Turcotte is going to be taken off the board for us. Number 4 will be the Colorado Avalanche. I think it's likely that the Colorado Avalanche might take Bowen Byram, but I'm going to say they don't, just because they have a lot of defensemen, and I don't think they really need to create a bigger logjam on the defense. So they are probably likely to select one of either Dylan Cozens or Kirby Dach. For this situation, I've seen Dylan Cozens go a lot higher. I'm going to say that Dylan Cozens goes 4th overall to the Colorado Avalanche. 5th overall is the LA Kings. They traded away Jake Muzzin this last season. So I do think they're going to be looking for a defenseman come this NHL draft. So I have them selecting Bowen Byram. So this takes off Jack Hughes, Kaapo Kakko, Dylan Cozens, Alex Turcotte, and Bowen Byram, leaving us with Trevor Zegras, Philip Broberg, Kirby Dach, and Cole Caufield. I think the Red Wings should select Trevor Zegras with the 6th overall pick. I think Trevor Zegras is a playmaking, passing forward that the Red Wings are lacking in. They do not have a lot of pass-first forwards. At least as of the moment, I do not see any forwards coming up yet. I don't see a player like Gustav Nyquist or Henrik Zetterberg, those late round picks, coming up and being an amazing playmaking ability, or even first round or second round picks. We do not have exactly a lot of playmaking forwards, so I'm going to say Trevor Zegras is taken 6th overall for the Detroit Red Wings, and I do think that is a good pick, and I do think Trevor Zegras should be a good player for the Red Wings going forward. What do you guys think of Cole Caulfield? And who would you draft in the upcoming NHL draft? Let me know down in the comments. Until next time, lights out in the Red Light District.